Warm greetings to distinguished leaders, colleagues, partners, and women of influence across the globe, brothers and sisters in leadership. My name is Michaelle Deonarain, and I serve as the Country Director for South Africa for the Directorate of Tourism and Hospitality at the Distinguished World Leaders Foundation. It is an honor to share reflections on our theme, Voices of Change, Women Leading Tourism Worldwide. Today, as we commemorate International Women's Day, we celebrate not only achievement, but courage, not only progress, but purpose. Tourism is more than an industry. It is diplomacy without borders. It is economic empowerment in motion. It is culture, identity, humanity woven into lived experiences. And increasingly, it is being shaped by the leadership of a woman. For many years, tourism leadership was measured by arrival statistics and occupancy rates. Today, leadership in tourism means something deeper. It means stewardship. It means national branding, livelihood creation, inclusion, sustainability, ethical governance, environmental preservation. To lead in global tourism is to influence how nations are seen and how communities are sustained. I once visited a small little tourism enterprise in a rural community where the owner said to me, when visitors come here, they don't just book a room. They invest in my children's future. That is tourism. It is economic strategy with human consequences. Women understand this deeply because we think beyond the quarterly returns. We think about legacy and perhaps more powerfully, as women leaders, we do not simply occupy positions, we redefine them. My own journey in hospitality education, institutional leadership, and global engagement has reinforced one truth. When women lead, we lead with integrative intelligence. We consider economic outcomes alongside social justice. We align strategy with humanity. We measure success not only by growth, but by impact. Leadership at national and global levels demands vision, but it also demands voice. And historically, women's voices are underrepresented in tourism boardrooms, policy chambers, and investment platforms. Today, the narrative is shifting. It's becoming increasingly evident that today, women are no longer asking for seats at tables. We are designing the tables. Across continents, women are redefining leadership standards in tourism and hospitality. We see this transformation reflected globally through institutions such as UN Tourism, where gender equity is increasingly embedded in tourism policy frameworks. We witness it through initiatives aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, where tourism is positioned as a catalyst for gender equality and inclusive growth. Through the policy influence of the UN Tourism and gender-focused sustainable development initiatives, women are ensuring tourism contributes meaningfully to decent work, gender equality, climate action, and community prosperity. But let us go beyond institution. Let's talk about impact. Women are leading eco-lodges that operate on renewable energy systems. Women are building digital travel platforms that connect rural artisans to global markets. Women are driving responsible tourism certifications that protect fragile ecosystems. Women are restructuring hospitality supply chains to include small local producers. They are not asking for permission to lead. They are delivering measurable results. Allow me to bring this closer to my home. In South Africa, Tourism plays a vital role in employment, entrepreneurship, and national policy. In South Africa, our commitment to female leadership is demonstrated at the highest level, with our Mrs. Patricia de Lille serving as our female Minister of Tourism. Her leadership reflects national priority, where women should not only participate in the tourism economy, but also shape its strategic direction and policy vision. This appointment underscores how South Africa is intentionally advancing gender inclusivity in governance and economic leadership within the global tourism sector. In South Africa, we have witnessed tourism becoming a gateway for women's economic mobility. For example, women-owned guest houses in provinces such as Limpopo and Eastern Cape have evolved from small family-run operations into structured enterprises, employing local youth and sourcing community suppliers. These enterprises do more than generate an income. They circulate wealth within the community. They create employment pipelines. They formalize informal economies. It is the power of tourism when women lead. It multiplies impact. When institutional leadership intentionally supports women's progression, representation transforms into advancement. That is how systemic change begins, through structured opportunity. Consider the example of Koleka Tele, owner of the Hill Guest House. What started as a vision actually became an enterprise. What became an enterprise became employment. What became employment became dignity. This is how systemic change begins, through structured opportunity, through mentorship, through access, through belief. Tourism is a gateway for financial independence, generational upliftment, and for ownership. And ownership changes everything. As we reflect globally, we must understand that true progress requires access to capital, access to policy platforms, access to executive decision-making spaces. It requires intentional leadership pipelines. It requires that young women see leadership as expected and not exceptional. To the young women across the world watching the celebration, do not limit yourself to operational roles. Study policy, understand finance, master sustainability metrics, build global networks. Move from presence to power. Women must build alliances across borders, from Africa with Asia, Europe to Latin America, the global south with the global north, because tourism does not operate in isolation, and neither should women leaders. Just imagine a tourism sector where every girl studying hospitality believes that leadership is her natural path. Every woman entrepreneur can access funding without disproportionate barriers. Every boardroom reflects the community it serves. This is not idealism. It is economic intelligence. Inclusive leadership strengthens industries. Empowered women strengthen nations. The legacy we must build is bold. A tourism sector where ethical governance is non-negotiable, where sustainability is measurable, where inclusion is structural, where young girls see the global leadership and say, that's where I belong. When this era of global tourism is recorded, it will be known as the moment where women moved from presence to power. In conclusion, as we celebrate International Women's Day, let us remember that our voices are simply not expressions. They are instruments of change. Tourism connects the world, and women are shaping how the world moves. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for advancing women leading tourism worldwide. As we say in my beautiful Cape Town, thank you, Bye Danki, and Kosi.